Joanna Jedrzejczyk versus Zhang Weili. This fight will be won or lost by how well Zhang Weili can implement her pressure. Now, there are two different kinds of pressure. There is direct pressure, which is the obvious pressure when I'm in your face and I'm pumping shots consistently and they're getting extremely close. They're landing. If you're not getting out of the way of those shots, they're hitting you.
He took position away. He should reset him back in that same position.
But there's also indirect pressure. Now, what is indirect pressure? Non-punching pressure.
Hanging, putting on a show. Ooh. Oh, he was able to get that head kick up there. And he took it.
This is also something that Zhang Weili has been known to do. The question for me is, when Zhang Weili decides to use direct pressure, what is Joanna going to do? One of the commenters in our video, Mary F., actually mentions that Zhang Weili gets focused in just the straight offensive approach. She sometimes forgets that the opponent can throw strikes back. And she has gotten clipped and hurt multiple times in the past because of this. Why this is important is because, well, brawling isn't in Joanna's game plan, but it is something that we see her routinely do. She likes to step in with a 1-2-1 over the top, and she does get tied up in clinching space. And in the past, she was shown to not clinch as much. She would punch her way out of those inner situations. Where this becomes interesting is that in Joanna's last fight versus Michelle Waterston, she even said in the lead up that she was going to be taking a more Muay Thai heavy approach, going back to her roots. We saw a lot of clinch work from Joanna Jedrzejczyk in that fight versus Michelle Waterston. So let's build a scenario here. Just for the sake of the scenario, let's say that Zhang Weili successfully covers distance and gets inside the pocket on Joanna Jedrzejczyk. What does Joanna do from here? Does Joanna decide to clinch? Does Joanna's team think that she has the clinch advantage? This is important because that very vastly determines how Joanna is going to deal with that situation. A situation that's very likely to happen. Zhang Weili closing the distance and getting inside the pocket. If Joanna's team believes that they can out-clinch Zhang Weili, then that is more than likely what's going to happen. Zhang Weili is going to close distance, enter the pocket, and Joanna Jedrzejczyk is going to wrap up and clinch. I don't know who's strong. We know that Joanna has a very strong Thai clinch game, but we also know that Zhang Weili is probably the biggest athletic freak in that division, the strongest female in that division. And I don't think that it's good to be inside with her at any point in time. I don't think it's safe for anybody in the division to be within striking distance of Zhang Weili at any point in time. I think the people that are going to get her the most trouble are going to be the Joanna Jedrzejczyk, but even more so than her, the Rose Namajunas, the Valentina Shevchenko, the ones that are a little bit longer, even so, a little bit more evasive than Joanna Jedrzejczyk. I used to think the uncertainty in this fight lied with the X factors that Zhang Weili brought to the table. After much more thought, I now realize that the X factor, the uncertainty, lies with how Joanna decides to deal and counter Zhang Weili's art of pressuring, the art of direct and indirect pressure, the Peter Yan, the Conor McGregor, the Zhang Weili. Will she decide to strike her way out like she's been shown to do in the past? Will Joanna decide to clinch and possibly get taken down because of it? Or will she play a little bit more evasive game, try to stay longer on the outside, leg kicks, teeps, anything to keep Zhang Weili at bay, anything to get this into the third, fourth, and fifth round when we don't know if Zhang Weili is going to have the cardio to keep up. That's where the art of non-punching pressure comes into play from Zhang Weili. How she can conserve her energy, how she can tire Joanna out and eventually make Joanna have and make a mistake. The art of pressuring, of non-punching pressuring, is to constantly say just out of distance, enough to where you know you're safe, but where your opponent doesn't know if he's safe. You have to have that respect. You have to have that matador effect of your opponent taken away. You can't rush him and end up like Fabricio Verdum versus Stipe Miocic. You have to say just out of range, just like Stipe Miocic did to Fabricio Verdum on the backside, but reversed. What do you think? Steak and batter, my friends.